Hey, everybody. It is the best day of the week, Thursday. How's everybody doing? Let me wait until we get some folks in the room. Because you know I do not want to start this whole entire party without my people. Gotta have my people in here first. Cameron Mingo, I think you were the first one to pop in the room. That's exactly what I think. As you all are joining, say what's up. Let me know how you're doing. I want to know. I want to make sure y'all are doing well. Y'all are staying safe. COVID-19 still outside, so we got to stay safe. Praying for all the essential workers. Hey, Tina. Hey, John Adams. Corey Filson. What's up, everybody? You guys want to make sure your DMV sports loving family and friends is tuned into this one. And here is why. What's up, my guy Jeff? How you doing? Here's why. Because I think tonight we're touching on just about everything. Just about everything. So, we got to make sure, seriously, like, everybody is tuned in for sure. I think I see one of my most favorite Washington football fans, Miss Deborah Snyder, joining. That's my girl. You guys, we will go ahead and get started because we have so very much to discuss. So definitely, let's just hop right on to it. Check in. Let me know you all are doing okay, because that's the most important part for me, to make sure you all are doing fine and feeling good and doing well, because that is a most important thing to me for sure. And I'm going to give you guys some time to get your folks in here, because listen, I don't know where I want to go with this. I don't know where I want to start. I don't know if I want to start with DC putting in the bid for the World Cup. I don't know if I want to start off with Caps going into phase 3 starting Monday. I don't know if I want to talk about the Nats real quick. I'm not sure. But we definitely got to get it on and popping. And we already know, got to talk about the Mystics a little bit. The Wizards for sure, just coming off a Wizards media call. And we absolutely got to talk about the Washington football team. So, hey, we got to get to all of that. You guys, Cameron Mingo said he's doing good, real good. And my mom is on. Make sure y'all say hello to Mom CWall. That is my mother. She's on the show each and every single week. Each and every single week. So, you guys, let's go ahead and get it going, because we got a lot to talk about. And I need you all's comments. We got to get this thing going. Make sure I'm not talking to myself. So, as I just mentioned, DC has put in a bid for the 2026, that's a lot, 2026 World Cup. We got the rally captain in here. Did you know that rally captain that DC has put in their bid to host the 2026 World Cup? That in itself is huge. Huge. The World Cup is a major sporting event. Major. Where it's just totally global. We're assuming all things COVID-19 will be behind us and under control. So DC has put their bid in to host the 2026 World Cup. Here's what's the most interesting thing about this to me, and here's why I wanted to bring this up, because we're going to have to talk about it later. Trust me on this one. And of course, Mayor Muriel Bowser is all for it, right? The advisory board includes celebrity chef Jose Andres, who y'all know is a huge DC Everything sports fan. He loves this city, right? Then they have former and current players Eddie Pope, Joanna Lohman, and Andy Sullivan, who are both on the U.S. the U.S. women's national team and on the Washington Spirit. Here's what's interesting. Here's why I really wanted to bring this up. I mean, it's big news. It's huge news for the city, right? But I already see Cameron's question. And the main location for the games would be FedEx Field, right? It's the proposed venue for the matches. But check this out. For the training sites, it would be Audi Field, RFK, Trinity University, and the Soccerplex up Maryland. So any type of bid to keep RFK going, let's just assume that's going to get done. Because if they've included the fields at RFK campus as part of this proposal, then we just going to assume that it'll be there in 2026. In the event they get the bid. But obviously they can't include it in the bid if there's no plans for it to be available for training purposes. So that's really why I wanted to bring it up. It is important. It's a big deal, at least in my opinion, because it's a huge global sporting event. And yeah, but thought I'd share that. Last week, Rally Captain was on. We had a just great, awesome Washington football team fans on. So I didn't get to that point about DC putting their bid in for the World Cup. But there you go. There you have it. Really quick on the Caps, they'll move into phase 3 on Monday. So there's that. That's all I have to say about that. They're moving into phase 3 starting Monday, which means they're probably just ready to go. They're ready to start playing. Sports is coming back as far as we know. So things are still moving forward and looking promising that sports will be a go. So Monday, the Caps will be moving into phase 3, just as the other NHL teams. So we're going to wish them luck and watch the game when it comes on. The Nats released their 2021 schedule today. Their opening day at home, April 1st versus the New York Mets. So they're already planning. COVID-19 will be behind us. It'll be all under control. The schedule's out. Get ready for next season. Now, they are also preparing for this season, a much shorter season. And, oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Nets did finally get their championship rings today. And how about this, y'all? Only on the ring box. I got a little nervous when I saw the article. But do you know they spelled our good friend Steven Strasburg's name wrong on his ring box. It's spelled correctly on the ring, so that's truly all that matters. But I felt like that was, because when I saw it, I said, oh dear God, they spelled his name wrong on the ring, but no, it was the ring box. But they did receive their rings today. They're practicing, they're getting ready to go. Juan Soto, as you all may know, has put himself in isolation because he has been around 2 Nats players that have tested positive for COVID-19. So manager David Martinez has still not shared who the 2 players are on the Nets that tested positive for COVID-19, but Juan Soto has been around that teammate and said, okay, you got to go isolate. So that is what that is. We'll see more of this, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Like I said, just a reminder for some of you all, maybe news to others. Ryan Zimmerman still opted out, as did Joe Ross. So 2 of the Nats said, you know what? you all can have this season. Safety first for me and my family. So we want to continue to wish them nothing but the best. Whew, I feel like that's a lot. The Mystics, you guys. So if you haven't heard, and at least by the time this party was starting, Alina Deladon and Tina Charles are still waiting to hear back from the WNBA Health Official Board to see if they basically can even play. More than likely, it appears now that they will be approved to miss the season, if that's what they so choose, due to their health concerns. Uncertain what's truly going on with Tina Charles, but as most know, Alina Deladon suffers from Lyme disease, and she's considered high risk. So, safety first, priorities first. It is what it is. I can't, I'm just thinking, I'm like, all right, so basically, they'll only have like 10 players on the roster. And I'm like, wow, only 10? Because if you think about it, Natasha Cloud and LaToya Saunders have already said they've opted out. And now with the chance for EDD and Tina to be out as well, there'll only be 10 players on the roster. That is what that is, you guys. And it's a short season. I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting used to it. Y'all know I love sports. So, hey, but I want everybody to be safe first because that is extremely, extremely important. So, one note here that I saw online, and it says, if the two players do have their cases approved by the panel, the Mystics won't be able to sign replacements as they would be over the salary cap. So again, they would only have, or at least starting the season, with 10 people on their roster. That's a lot. That's not a lot. It's not a lot. That's what I meant to say. I said it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, understanding that that's not many bodies to have on your roster. So, I don't know. We want them to run it back, but that's probably not going to, hey, it's looking a little bleak with them running it back. The Nats can still repeat. I think the Nats got a good chance of repeating. At least that's their hope. But our Mystics, I don't know, everybody. Just being honest. As I say what's up to my guy, Randall Martin. What's up, brother? Good to see you on the line. Wizards. While I'm trying to collect my thoughts on the Wizards, I need you all to comment below and tell me, what do you all think about the Wizards even being a part of the NBA restart? How do you truly feel about the Washington Wizards being a part of this? If there was a way for a team to opt out, I think should be them. But they're not, they're down there. They're there. They're in Orlando. I actually just got off of a call right before I joined with you all for the practice, after practice Zoom call with Scott Brooks, Isak Bonga, and Ish Smith. And so it was just, questions after practice. So they're getting acclimated down there and seem to be in good spirits. I guess they don't have a reason not to be in good spirits. But when you think about it, and there's actually a couple other players. Matter of fact, fellow media colleague Fred Katz reported that Garrison Matthews also did not join the Wizards on the trip. Now, what was interesting on the call, Scott Brooks said that he couldn't mention yet who wasn't at practice. So, there's that. But I do know just from Fred Katz's post that Garrison Matthews was not present. Maybe he will join the team at some point, but he's not present as of yet. We know John isn't there. We know Davis isn't there. We just found out the other day, Brad opted out. And that whole scenario now, last week in the press conference, Brad basically told on himself. He basically said he still was not sure if he was going to attend and he was going to go. So once you say something like that out loud, it's like, okay, he's not going. What wasn't known at the time, at least publicly known, was that he was injured and he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. Because in terms of meetings and press conferences, all we've been hearing is how great Brad looks. Him wanting to continue his streak, his point average streak, and just having the phenomenal season that he has had so far this year. So I was looked a little sideways myself, being very honest with you all, when they said, oh, well, he has a shoulder injury and he's not attending. So the reason why I side-eyed the whole conversation is because we had another conversation with Scott Brooks on Monday. Brad looks good. He looks great, feeling good. Can't wait to see him go out there. And then Tuesday it was like, oh, look, oh yeah, Brad he not getting on the plane. He not going. Oh, okay. So, I mean, hey, it's good practice. It gives guys an opportunity to get out there some more and play and stay in shape. We don't want to see anyone get injured, of course. But at the same token, it's just like, and I see some mixed reviews here, Jeffrey says shouldn't be there. Cameron, Cameron's a diehard Wizards fan, y'all. He's happy that they're there. And, hey, I mean, it's something to watch. If they happy, I'm happy. Estock look very happy. Ish is always happy. Ish Smith is always happy. He has not a thing to complain about, and I appreciate his energy, his positive energy about everything. So we'll see what happens, even in the scrimmages. I mean, it's like, really? It was almost like they paired the Wizards up with the toughest teams just so that the teams wouldn't work themselves out so hard, That's just my small rant without really getting too deep into it. So we'll see what happens with the Washington Wizards and the NBA restart. Hopefully everybody stays safe and healthy. If they all stay safe and healthy, then I'll be happy. All right. It is Washington football team time. Where do we want to start, everybody? You all tell me, because here's the thing. The big talk, we all know the name change. We all know. And while we're talking about the Washington football team, drop in the comments the name you want to see them play by going forward. As far as I'm concerned, we could just call them the Washington football team until this thing gets worked out. But what is your most favorite name so far that you have seen them share so far? I've seen several online. But I want to talk about this with you all. What's like Randall said, it could be the Red Wolves. We've seen Red Wolves, we've seen Red Tails, we've seen Warriors, we've seen Renegades, Senators. Who else? What else? I feel like I'm missing a name that I've seen. What's in my notes here? I don't know. Did I say the Red Tails already? I think so. I don't know. So here's what I'll tell you. What I'll tell you is, of course there's a list. That's what's in review. Because they have to look at the list, they have to look at the names, and they have to make sure any of the options. They have to go and choose the best option. I mean, that's just what it is. It's kind of like I don't know. You got to get a new car because your car broke down. So they got to get a new name because this old name ain't working. So let's pull together a list. Let's see what we can do, and which one is the one that's going to cause the least controversy, because that's where we are now. Where it has kind of evolved, if you will, would be, okay, we want to try to keep the Native American look and feel, or Native American name. Let's see if we can get maybe a name that is centered around the military. Let's ask these folks. Now it has evolved to just drop anything involving the Native American community. Just forget about it. Let's just stop it. We're not even going to talk about it. I do have a question for y'all while I'm talking this out. Is everybody, and I'm just really asking, is everybody picking names that start with the R so that they don't lose the R? You know, because is that why everybody is holding on to the R? I'm just asking. Because of course there are suggestions that have nothing to do with red anything. And so that's why I was wondering. I was like, okay, I think fans want to stick with, they don't want to lose the R. I've seen recently on Twitter where they just ran with the Red Wolves. That's just gone haywire. And some of y'all, there's some creative folks out here in terms of just pulling together all types of Photoshop jerseys and everything. I'm like, wow, they're really good. These are awesome. But I was wondering, I was like, okay, is it that people don't want to lose the red part? They want to keep the R. And I understand it. I understand it all. But if they totally want to say, well, just, hey, listen, after the review, because it's all in review, keep in mind, Ron Rivera, his desire is to get it done before training camp. The reason why is so he doesn't have to answer a whole bunch of questions during camp. That's big. If you can get it done, if you can get it done, and that is the hope, that is the desire, that is what you want to do, because you don't want the name conversation to overshadow the football conversation, then I get it. I absolutely understand. And I do believe that they're working very, very hard. I know that they're working very hard to come up with a decision. Here's another thing that I was thinking about, and I want to get you all's thoughts on this too. When I was initially told that the name was going away and everything associated with it was going away, that's when then the George Preston Marshall name and statue removed. I said, okay, they serious. You know, what I was told wasn't a fluke. They really getting rid of all of this. And so with the merchandise being pulled, of course, now with the merchandise being pulled and even the name being in review, all of that, that's an admission of there's a challenge with this name. There's an issue with this name. And trust me, it has to go through review. Whatever it is that they decide, it needs to be reviewed by the NFL and the ownership community. The name cannot be changed without a vote in the league and with the owners. That's why there's a list of potential names, because they have to collectively decide it. Just like if somebody decides to move to another location, another stadium, they have to vote. So with the pull of merchandise, well, okay, in my mind, I'm like, okay, everybody's pulling merchandise because of the racism associated with it. Yeah, that's true, but they're also pulling merchandise because the name is changing. So why are you going to keep old merchandise? So they're moving along. That I do know. I will have to laugh to myself, honestly, if they actually pull it off before training camp. I would be like, wow, they really did, because that is the plan. That is the plan. It's soon. It's in motion. Now, what I would also like to know that I'm not quite sure is how much of what's happening online, meaning the feedback and what's being said online, really is being considered. That I can't tell y'all. What I can tell you is there's a name or two that was on the original list. So y'all are pretty smart people. Now, some of them, I don't know where y'all got them names from, but hey, it's a name and it's a good idea. At this point, it can't be controversial. If it's controversial, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work, and it's not gonna pass the vote. So it has to be something that you cannot question at all. Can't question it at all. And like one of my favorite friends, Debbie Snyder, saying on there, hey, listen, y'all can still wear your stuff. Wear it. I mean, unless you don't want to offend anybody. But they have plenty of stuff on sale right now. They're selling it. It's going away. They may as well sell it. And I also would like to say, because I was pretty shocked as well, seeing all the anger over the name. And I'm like, hey, listen, as bad as the team is, let's all be mad about that. They can change the name to the Washington Electric Boogaloos, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever you like to do. Y'all remember that Breaking movie? You can do whatever. They could be the Washington Breakdancers, for all I care. All of that. Win a few games. Matter of fact, win more than a few. And I know Joy was waiting for the drag. There it is, sis. There it is. You know I'm good for a drag every once in a while, and I've done very well. I haven't dragged them in a bit because they've been doing all right as far as I'm concerned. But listen, win in the playoffs. Make the playoffs. With that being said, let's talk about this ownership situation. That's what I really want to talk about. What I really want to talk about and work through with you all is, why is this happening right now with the owners? Why the minority owners, the three minority owners, they're attempting to sell their 40%. Why? You have CEO and chairman of FedEx that has wanted Dan Snyder to change this name for years. I know I was told, and then I saw a report, and I was like, yeah, that falls in line with what I'm aware of, that he's consistently been an advocate for, look, you're going to change this name. You got to change this name. You got to change this name. So now they're changing it. It's happening. It's going down. It's all behind us. New name. New era with Ron Rivera, okay? And you want out? Now all of a sudden you want out. So this isn't about the name change then. What is it really about? Could it potentially be about, because here's what was shared with me as well. Hey Dan, buy us out. They know Dan can't buy them out. And there's since been public reports about that as well. Dan can't buy them out. They know that. So now we're going to make a fool out of you publicly, because guess what? Now everybody knows you ain't got as much money as you want everybody to think you got. So it can't happen. Right? Okay. But why are you doing this now? The timing of it all is just very odd to me. Especially when one of the owners was huge on Ron Rivera, right? Attended the combine, the scouting combine with Rivera and Dan. What's happening over there? Who made who mad? Because if you ain't been mad in these last 17 years, then I don't know. Or is it that you feel as though, and we've had this conversation before, everybody, you all know what it is, and if you know me well enough, you might know what I'm getting ready to say. Can this franchise truly change and turn the corner with Dan Snyder leading the way? Because here's the thing. Remember, I asked you all months ago. I said, do y'all think Dan really changed? I think when I had the first round table, I said, do y'all think it's more of the same with Dan? You think it's the same? I was feeling like Dan was turning a corner. You know, it's small baby steps for me. I'm like, yeah, you know, Dan is doing a little bit better. You guys, you know, got to hold on to hope. Keep the faith. But something tells me these owners are like, listen, as long as he's here, this franchise will never win a Super Bowl. It's something. It's something there. And it's got to be something there because one of the owners, he's looking to retire. So if you're looking to retire, okay, well then you can find somebody else to get your share, or you can just be retired and still be a minority owner. Something is up. I'm still trying to piece the puzzle together, although I may have just pieced it together while I'm sitting here talking to you guys. That the real issue is they don't want to be involved with Dan. It's over. We like a divorce. The marriage is done. And as long as you're here, the common denominator of the issues over the years has been you, Dan. So as long as you're here, no, because they might be feeling like, okay, you're finally changing the name. Okay, but when I asked you to change the name, you didn't want to change the name. Got all kinds of lip service out of you when I asked you to change the name. Now, the world wants you to change the name. Now you're going to change it. Okay, that's cool and all, but that's a little too late. We're out. Oh, yeah, by the way, you have to find somebody to buy us out first. Trust me, there's some drama under that one right there, y'all. It's a whole lot of drama. I mean, talk to me. Have y'all been able to figure it out? I mean, other than me just knowing they're sick of Dan. Like, Dan, look. Because also, to my understanding is, a lot of this stuff with the name change is getting dragged out. It's getting dragged out. Now we got to call you to the carpet. Now we got to make public statements because we had these conversations behind closed doors and you was playing. I don't know, you guys. I mean, it did, and like Sis said, it didn't have to get this far. You could have went through a name change. The name change was coming, but now your back is against the wall when you're dealing with the murder of George Floyd. So, to Jeff's point, I think these people just tired of him. And they like, look, little too late. We've been asking you to change the name. You didn't want to do it. You had all this lip service. You'll never change the name. Now you got to. So now here we are, rushing against the clock, trying to get it changed. Rushing. Everything's a rush now. Everything is reactive when we could have been proactive about this situation. And now you not changing the name is not enough for me. That's what I think is going on based on what I've been told and what I've read. Because I'm like, yeah, y'all done got mad. Somebody said, screw this. And they was like, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Oh yeah, by the way, find somebody to buy me out first. You can't. Drama. Why our name always in some drama? Didn't I tell y'all one of the things that I was looking forward to and was so very, very, very excited about was no drama? See, Ron Rivera don't deal with a lot of foolishness, y'all. So he's like, listen, this is foolishness. Y'all should have figured this out before the world figured it out. Okay? Now it's a headline. Walmart, Target, everybody's pulling it. Well, yeah, they're pulling it because this changed. But at the end of the day, now it's a thing. Now you got the NFL making statements. Yeah, we've been talking to them for a few weeks about this, and yeah, we did. It doesn't have to always be like this, y'all. It can go down quietly. It can go down quietly. But I guess as long... They got Washington football sweatshirts. Because I think I got me one back there. I think it's when they do salute the service and everything. It says just Washington football. They have stuff that says Washington football, and I'm an advocate for that. Hey, listen, just get rid of it and just call it Washington football until you all can figure this out. Because now everybody, that's all we all talk about all day, every day, trying to wait for the ball to drop with the new name, stressing everybody out. It's a lot. I don't know. It'll be resolved soon enough, everybody. Trust me on that one. I wish it was without a debacle attached to it, but here we are. It's 2020, and that's what the hand we've been dealt. So, another thing I wanted to bring up was that you all may be aware of all the conversations with the NFL and the NFLPA. So that's the NFL, and the NFLPA is the Players Association, about starting up training camp, starting up the season. I can't even put into words how long the document is, quite frankly, and just complex it is. You know, and I'm looking at it while I'm talking to you all, but of course everybody's got to wear masks, especially when you're inside. But I'm trying to find the part, because it's a 42-page document. Very detailed. But I wanted to share what's in here regarding fans and visitors. So regarding fans and visitors, and I'm going to read verbatim to my CWall family what it says about fans and visitors. But fans and visitors will not be permitted to attend training camp held at club facilities at any time. A club may hold no more than 2 fan events at its stadium while players are practicing on the stadium field, provided that all state and local requirements regarding the number of permissible fans are followed. No fans are permitted on field or to have any contact or interactions with players, coaches, the like. Fans must be at least 8 rows from barrier to the field. The club adheres to physical distancing requirements. And then, of course, there's some stuff here about cleaning and sanitation requirements. For closed air stadiums, clubs must ensure they have proper airflow and filtering throughout the stadium by measuring ventilation and calculating air changes per hour. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Washington football team decides to do with the season. And definitely with training camp. I know training camp is something, I know there's one thing that I enjoy. I enjoyed it as a fan. I enjoy it being a member of the media. I have a good time. Now, last year was a little bit of a debacle because it just was. But the years between that, it had nothing to do with it. It was just drama, But overall, it's fun. I always talk about it like it's the first day of school, or like when you go to school and everything, and when it's over, it's like the last day of school. I liked school, so it was always a little sad for me when it ended. But it will be an adjustment. I think this year is just is a year of change. It's a year of uncomfortability. But one thing that I want to share with the fans is always remember to be resilient. If this team can just get the drama syndrome out of there, they could do great things. I think Ron Rivera still very much wants to focus on football. So having to deal with and sort out and publicly speak to the business side of things is not necessarily his cup of tea, not necessarily that he doesn't want to do it and he's not going to do it, because he absolutely will, and he's up for that challenge. But it does take away from the field progress. And just with everything going on, it's already some sort of way because fans can't necessarily be there. So we have to try to hold on to and salvage the positive, any positive energy that we all can have, because you can't be there physically. You know, the fans can't be there physically. So hopefully the drama subsides soon. That's all I can say. I think it will. But who knows? Because it changes every day. That's why when you see people's posts, it'd be like, as of right now. That means look at the timestamp. Who knows? 5 minutes from now could be different. But anyway, that was all I had for today, I think. Thank you guys for joining me and sticking it out with me. You guys, listen, please continue to stay safe and be well. Okay? Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Keep your social distance. It's important. It's really, really important. COVID-19 is still outside. And it's important, right? You know, one of my very, very good friends just had to bury her father from this virus. So I just pray for all of you and want you all to be well. Seriously, I mean that. Your girl been quarantined, okay? Look, my mama on here, she'll tell y'all, she won't even let me come to her house, y'all. So we gonna have to figure that out, right, Mom? Y'all, my hair keep getting in my eye. That's why I keep moving like that. But anyway, be blessed, you guys. Have an amazing night, and I will see you guys next week.